So I just dropped my son off at school, and this is kind of working out because number one, I'm saving money, and number two, I'm able to do these videos more consistently, so that's nice. So anyway, I did a meeting with my two assistants this morning. So I've talked about this the last few days, but basically we had the one guy, and I was having him trying to be my assistant. He had started as like a video editor, and then like I was trying to basically I had this idea for what I was trying to do with the contractors and stuff like that that buy from us, and it wasn't working out the way I wanted it to. So then I didn't have any work for him, and then there was stuff I needed done on like my website. And so anyway, got him back working for me. And then after that, I'm like, I really need an assistant. And so we was trying to do that. That didn't really work out because it's not really what he enjoys doing, what he's naturally good at. So then we have this other person in. And so this is, I think, our what's today, Thursday? So actually today's the third day. So anyway, we have a meeting today. And the one thing that we're trying to do, or she's trying to do, is get us organized, right? So we have this Notion set up. So if you haven't used Notion before, it's kind of like this big, I don't even know all the crap about it, but it's basically this kind of like a workspace. So that way you can have like different projects, and it kind of, the goal is to keep everything organized, I guess. And so anyway, one of the things is social media, specifically like stuff about like these videos, right? And the one thing she was asking about is, because like, you know, with goals, like you really have to assign some sort of number to a goal, so that way you know what you're shooting for, right? And so what she was asking me is about the, you know, how many subscribers do you want, right? And I'm like, it doesn't matter, right? It's not a subscriber count thing for me. You know, at this point, I thought I did under 300 videos. It's actually just under 400 videos at this point, and I have like 374 subscribers, something like that. So it's almost like an average of like 1 subscriber per video, more or less. And though it's not really like that, most of the subscribers are probably coming from like 10 videos, right? And which I know because there's certain videos that have like just a ton of views, and even over time, because it's things that people are searching for and shit like that. So anyway, after you do all this shit that you're supposed to be doing and everything else, like the result of all that is like that subscriber count, right? But what goes into all of that, right? Number one, people have to watch the videos, right? And so the first thing is, and I guess before going to that, so there's a concept I want to talk about from that, right? And so it's the concept of leading indicators versus lagging indicators, okay? So a lagging indicator is something like your total sales for the year. So, and you know, because anytime like you're setting a plan in place and goals and all this other kind of stuff, like you have to tie numbers into that, right? It's just how we are. It's like, why, you know, can you imagine watching football or basketball or soccer or whatever if there was no score? It would just be boring. It's the score that really makes everything like exciting and important and things like that. And you can quickly know if you are like doing good or not, right? What I'm going to talk about, and to make this concept make more sense, is I'm going to talk about the leading versus lagging indicators for social media, right? So in this meeting, she's asking me how many subscribers that I want. And so for me, I'm like, it doesn't really matter. You know, for a lot of times, you know, most of the people that were doing social media and stuff like that, one of the main things people were going for was hitting 1,000 subscribers and having, you know, 4,000 watch hours throughout the year. The reason for that is because then you can get monetized and start making money from, you know, ads and, you know, stuff like that. And for me, I don't care. And also for me, I know that in order to get 1,000 subscribers, like, people have to watch the videos. And at this point, if you go through my channel, there's only a handful of people that watch each video, right? But if you look at my top viewed videos, they have like, it could be like, in some cases, 1,000 times more views than the other ones, right? 1,000 times. It's not like, oh, this video was 10 times better. And if we're only going by, if we're only going by view count, then it's like the certain videos have 1,000 times, they just did 1,000 times better, right? So what I said is, like, instead of focusing on the lagging indicators, so it's like the watch time hours and the subscriber count and things like that, I said we need to look at the leading indicators as well. Because at this point, if no one's clicking on the video, we're not going to get the views. And if we're not getting the views, we're not going to get the subscribers, right? So number one is, what is the, again, so the lagging or the leading indicators. So it's like the click-through ratio, it's the watch time, it's the like that drop off at the, for the first like 30 seconds, a minute, whatever. I'm not very well versed in this kind of stuff just because I've never really focused on it, but I know what I should be doing, but I haven't done it, right? I know if you look at most of my videos, there's no thumbnail, right? Or if you notice certain people that you follow. So if there is someone that's got a ton of subscribers and stuff like that, the person I talk about all the time, Alex Hormozi. Or you could also look at Leila Hormozi, right? Because I watch their shit all the time. I personally know that if the first time I see a video come up for them, if I don't click on it, over the next few days, like, YouTube's going to keep on showing me those thumbnails because they know I watch their stuff all the time. Like, at some point, if you put their newest video in front of me, I'm going to watch it. And it's usually I'm going to watch it when I have time, right? But the one thing I will notice is that the thumbnails and the headlines will change, right? So this is where you can start split testing things. Split testing is where you, as it basically says, you're splitting things up, right? So and this doesn't just pertain to social media, but this can be for ads as well. So instead of so what you want to do is show two different thumbnails, because maybe one more people are clicking on, because you'll see in the videos, again, the ones that have 20 views or 10 views or whatever versus the ones that have just say 1,000 views, the ones that are 1,000 times better. If you look at that stuff, the click-through ratio or the CTR on the videos that don't perform well might be at like 1%, 0.5%, something like that. So that means if I'm at 1%, that means YouTube shows the video 100 times and one person clicked on that video, right? Or if it's at 0.5%, that means they showed it to 200 people and one person clicked on it. So that's 0.5%, right? That's at the low end. Now, if you look at the top performing videos, again, the ones that have thousands and thousands of views, their click-through ratio might be like a 5 and a 6, right? So that means if it's like a 5, it's 5 times more people are clicking on that video versus the 1%. That also means that 10 times more people are clicking on that video if compared to the ones that's only getting a 0.5% click-through ratio, right? So YouTube sees this stuff, right? So what'll end up happening is if they're showing, as soon as a video gets posted, I don't know this for sure, but it's just what seems to be happening is, and I was also watching a video from another person that I wondered why they only had like a handful of videos, and like they had like 30, like I forget what the number was. It was just say, I don't even know, just say it was 5,000 subscribers and they had like 10 videos. I'm like, what the hell did they do, right? Well, the reason why they had 10 videos and so many damn subscribers, number one, they were talking about a topic that was much broader than like the contracting world. That's number one. The other thing is they already had a channel that had like 500,000 subscribers that they stopped with that, and then they were starting this channel instead, right? So they already knew what to do. They already were looking at the headlines and the thumbnails and everything else, right? Same thing applies for your ads. So anyway, going back to this and the longest story possible about lagging and leading indicators is, of course, we need to have those lagging indicators, right? So we want to have a dollar amount set for like what our revenue is going to be, okay? For me, it's the same thing. You know, when I was setting up a 1 year goal, it was like, okay, I want my, my sales last year were this year I want it to be this amount, right? And in my case, like I kind of shot for the, shooting for the stars kind of thing. And so anyway, that number is important, right? The other thing that, the other things that are really important though, and maybe even more so, probably more so, honestly, is the leading indicators. So it's like, okay, you want to hit this revenue, or you want to add this subscriber count, or you want to have whatever, right? Well, what things need to happen on a daily basis in order for you to hit those numbers, right? And so if I'm trying to get 1,000 subscribers, well, I need to, like, the click-through ratio has to go from like the 0.5% or 1%. Like, I want to get it to 3%. Watch time, the average watch time on, my videos right now, just say it's at 2 minutes. Well, I want to get that to 3.5 minutes. And it may not seem like that much, but again, going from 0.5% to 5%, like that means I got 10 times better at people clicking the videos. If I go from an average watch time of 1 minute to 5 minutes, I got 5 times better at conveying that information, so that way they kept on watching it. It could also be, I don't know, if like number of shares, right? So same thing. If we see that the number of shares was before it was like 1 and now it's like 30, same thing. So anyway, when we're looking at the stuff, we want to look at, again, the lagging indicators. We want to look at the revenue for your business. Again, if you're at 500,000, you want to go to 1 million. Fine. Well, what are the things that need to happen every single day in order for you to get there? Is that posting on social media? Is it like following up with quotes more? Is it like when a lead comes in, like this is a really good example because I've learned this through Hormozi, is if you're running Facebook ads, if your Facebook ads aren't working, but you're also taking more than 10 minutes to call these people as soon as they put in a contact form, you will severely limit the amount of like more or less quality leads. Because what's happening is, and they've ran the numbers, they found that if as soon as so someone put in a contact form, if you answered within 10 minutes, you were 5 times more likely to book an appointment with that person, okay? Here's the crazy part. If you called them within 5 minutes, you were 21 times more likely to get an appointment with them. Think about it. So you may be running all these ads and spending all this money, but if you aren't answering and calling these people back within like 5 minutes, you are kind of like shooting yourself in the foot. So anyway, lagging versus leading, what's your ultimate goal? What are the things that need to happen in order to hit your goal on a daily basis? And those are the numbers that you should be focusing on like every single day. And then if you focus on them every day, that number, that lagging indicator, that revenue number or whatever it happens to be, I'm not saying it will happen, but it's going, like, those are the things you need to do. So if you focus on them every day, you'll eventually get to where you want to be. It might take you longer, but at some point, you might want, again, if you're at 500,000 and you want to go to 1 million, you may want to have that happen by next year, like 2025. Fine. But it may not happen. But if you do the things, the posting on social media, if you follow up with leads right away, if you do this, this, and this, if you hit those metrics every single day, at some point you will hit those numbers. So that's all I got. Have a great day. Talk to you. Bye.